Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
David Menzies for Rebel News here in St. Catharines. And folks, I'm once again at Chrome Artistic Barbering. I'm with the owner, Alicia Hirter. This is our latest update on what has just been a dreadful story about an entrepreneur simply trying to go back to work. As you know, Alicia reimagined her studio, her barbershop, that is, as a film production facility. And she originally got the blessing of the city of St. Catharines. But then, well, the real virus in these parts, it's freedom. And the authorities quickly clamped down. And I can tell you, folks, Alicia is now up against the city, Niagara region, the online troll community, the newspaper, the St. Catharines Standard, and even the police themselves, the Niagara Regional Police Force. Just will you hear the aggro this lady is going through. Okay, so Alicia, as I said in the introduction, this all stems from you originally getting permission. We've heard the recording from the City of St. Catharines bylaw enforcement officer. You were allowed to have a film production studio.
Filming industry part of it is good. Have a nice day.
And then they changed their minds. They decided, no, you can't. But I got to say, before we get into that, I'm really curious because I know in the city of Toronto, there's something like 20 to 25 film productions going on right now. And folks, if you remember, my cameraman Mocha and I, we dropped by last week and this is what we found.
Everybody's in it together. That's it.
Oh, do you really believe that? Because, well, the restaurants and the gyms and the stores, they can't open, but you guys can continue filming. So I don't think everyone's in it together.
Toronto. Well, maybe do your research and learn.
I'm kind of curious. We've been covering the anti-lockdown protests every Saturday, officer, and people are being hauled away in paddy wagons, and yet we see the same lack of social distancing happening here, and the police aren't ticketing these people. Instead, you're protecting them. Why the double standard?
Well, we have a business here. We have an industry. It employs thousands of people. We make a lot of money every year in the film industry. It's a huge business.
So, Alicia, I reached out to the City of St. Catharines. Why was your film production kosher back in January and then suddenly in February it's not? And the spokeswoman, this is what she had to say to me. Our Director of Planning and Building Services, Tammy Kate, offered the following comment as a clarification to your question. In order for a hair salon to be considered a commercial film studio, zoning would have to permit the use, a change of use permit under the building code would be required, and a business license that reflects the film studio use and the appropriate licenses would be obtained from the Film Council of Canada as well as the provincial licensing authority in this regard. As none of these requirements were met, the salon was fined for operating in contravention of provincial regulations. Alicia, how do you make sense of that?
It's really hard to make sense of, especially since this is the very first time I've got a clear definition of a film studio or a performance studio since January. And also, not only that, a commercial production studio, I have a performance going on in my studio that is relevant. It's dependent on the service. What I just heard from you, what I was supposed to apply for, they're not even available. There's no licenses available from the board that they just told you. So I'm going to have to look into that myself a little bit further because this is the first time I've heard anything to even go on.
And Alicia, even if this is indeed the case, well then, why weren't you told this back in January from the bylaw enforcement officer?
Because, again, I don't think this at all was about allowing me to operate in any safe manner. I think it was about shutting me down right from the start. There was never encouragement. I actually asked the first officer that came in, why are you trying to stop me? Can't you just tell me what I have to do or what I might have missed to continue?
I think you're right. And sure enough, as soon as you opened, your friends at Evolution Salon and Spa, they opened. And I think it's a matter of the authorities going, this is getting contagious. People opening their businesses. Is that really the unspoken strategy behind these measures to clamp down on you?
Well, I don't want to say yes that it's kind of obvious what's been happening. I've been treated differently than everybody else the whole way, and it's kind of obvious now considering I'm the only person not open in St. Catharines that in this business where everybody else is allowed to operate.
Yeah, talk about perverse irony, Alicia. On Monday, March 1st, St. Catharines went from gray zone to red zone, meaning that if you are in the barbershop business, you can legally open now, but not you. You're in the penalty box, and you have to appeal this penalization to get back into your original business of haircutting.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. If you look at the order, which has been made public, some of the stipulations they want me to go through, they don't make sense. In the reds, they're not even requirements in the red zone, but they're making me go jump through all these hoops in the gray zone, and it's confusing. It's hard to justify why I'm the only person in this position.
Maybe the justification is that this is a vendetta against the city for you having the temerity to find, well, if it's a loophole, doesn't matter. It was a legal loophole. You found a way in which to operate under this cruel lockdown, and I guess now they're taking it out on you.
Yeah, I feel it in more ways than one. I mean, it's not... I've just been getting tickets for ice in front of my sidewalk, in front of my house that none of my neighbors got. They had more ice than I did. There's a lot of little things happening. Legal, I can't talk about it because of legalities, but there's a lot of pushback against all the different authorities on me.
Yeah, that is really strange, isn't it? You showed me that ticket where of all the streets on your house that had the same ice and snow accumulation, it was only you they picked on by the city. I think that's a disgrace. I think that is an outright vendetta on you for, again, something that has nothing to do with clearing your sidewalk, but has everything to do with opening your business. Now, it should also be said that, as we mentioned in our last update, the regional health director, Dr. Mustafa Hirji, was the subject of death threats. That is egregious and unacceptable, Absolutely. And that should never have been done or said. But the problem was, you were implicated by the St. Catharines Standard as being one of the people doing those death threats. There's absolutely no evidence of it. And you told me, and I believe you, that you had nothing to do with it. All you did was recirculate a silly meme of Dr. Hirji with two demons on his shoulders.
Yeah, it's, again, I got centered out again, and it was kind of convenient that I was operating and everything was fine. It seemed like nothing could really take me down. We know how the other ticket was laid. The first summons was laid. It was public. And then I get this thrown on top, and the correction wasn't available for everybody to see. So there's been some real damage that's been done so far.
Yeah, and that story was written by Grant LaFleche. As you may recall, folks, we reached out to him. He sure likes dishing it out, but he doesn't seem to like to take it. Check out this brief exchange.
LaFleche speaking.
Yeah, hi there, Grant. It's David Menzies calling from Rebel News. How you doing there?
I do for you, Mr. Menzies.
Pardon me? Sorry?
I do for you, Mr. Menzies. I'm very busy.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. Listen, I'm just doing a story on Chrome Barbering, and I came across some of your pieces, and there was one in which the story is kind of implicating Alicia Hirter in terms of giving a death threat to Niagara's acting medical officer of health.
Sorry to not do that, Mr. Menzies, and I don't really have any comment for you.
Oh, okay. It's your story, though, isn't it? I mean, I'll read it to you. It says, opponents of Niagara's...
Read me my story, Mr. Menzies. The story does not implicate Ms. Herter in anything other than the post that she made. You're well aware of that.
Well, did she make a post? Sir, didn't she make a post advocating for violence or death? Hung up. He's very busy. Yeah, and here's another thing, folks. Guess what? Online, the St. Catharines story, St. Catharines Standard story, that is, about Alicia Hirter, or at least mentioning Alicia Hirter as a salon owner. Guess what? Once our piece aired, it was edited online so that defamatory passage was taken out. But I understand, Alicia, there was no correction, retraction, clarification in the printed edition of the paper as such.
No, there wasn't. There was nothing put in the printed edition. And really, with the damage that's been done, to go put a correction online, who goes back and reads a story that they read 2 weeks before again? And It was this big. The damage was done. It was retweeted over 2,000 times, and the correction was retweeted once.
And I have reached out to the editor-in-chief. There's no sense calling Mr. LaFleche. He just hangs up the phone on me. And surprise, surprise, folks, this editor has not gotten back to me at all. Again, they can dish it out at the Standard. They don't like receiving what they dish out, it would seem. But on the subject of death threats, much like when we came here last time, Alicia, you aired for me a voicemail of a woman, and we think we have her identity, but we're going to keep our powder dry on that one so we don't get into any kind of defamatory territory. But get a load of this, folks. While Alicia was not giving anyone any death threats, that wasn't the case with her. Listen to this outrageous voicemail.
You should be the one beheaded because you're damn stupid not to understand that we're going through a pandemic. And this is bloody ridiculous that people like you are the ones that are causing the problem. Get a life. Stay home. Wear a mask. Be social distance. Stop being a jack.
So there you go. Here's someone calling for your beheading. You also had an incident where a man, I would say if I were a single woman, this would be terrifying. He boxed you in with his car against your car so you couldn't open the door. And you know who that individual is. You've gone to the Niagara Regional Police, but as they say in Missouri, this dog don't hunt.
No, I went to the police a couple weeks ago, and it doesn't seem to be getting taken seriously. I have a witness. I was scared after everything that's going on. Right now, I'm more scared now that they're not doing anything about it. It's just been forgotten, and I don't know why. If it's because of his age, he gets put away, but his intentions were really rotten, and nothing's been done so far, and I've followed up on this twice now.
And we followed up too, folks. I've reached out to the communications department of the Niagara Regional Police Service, and both by email and by phone. And, well, the communications person, what do you know? She doesn't like to communicate. Radio silence. But this is crazy, Alicia. I mean, you're a single mother, you're a woman, you're an entrepreneur. You're just the only crime you're guilty of, and it's not even a crime, is just getting into business. Why wouldn't the cops take this kind of intimidation and that kind of a audio death threat seriously?
I think at this point, I mean, again, it's just my opinion, but I think right now it's Alicia against everybody. I don't really think that they're going to come help me, just because it almost admits fault on their part. I don't know. Like I said, that's my speculation, but I don't feel like I have help available right now.
And we also reached out to Niagara Region folks. I wanted to get an interview with Dr. Hirter. When they asked what it was regarding, I got no thanks. We're going to decline. So there you have it. Also reached out to Niagara Region. One of the Niagara Region bylaw officers that visited Chrome Artistic Barbering in the early going, her name is Mishelle Brown. And get a load of this. We were tipped off that Miss Brown might indeed run I'm not making this up, a topless cleaning service. And I was curious if that would put her in a conflict of interest. She's running a business, but she's also doing bylaw enforcement. And would a topless cleaning service be running during this pandemic shutdown? Well, here's what Mishelle Brown had to say to me.
One last thing, because I guess it's a bit of a sidebar story, if anything, but Alicia had mentioned that you operate, it's a topless cleaning service in the region?
Sir, I cannot comment on that, sir.
Oh, you can't comment? I'm just curious if the topless cleaning service is operating right now.
Sir, I cannot comment on this at all, sir.
But this is not has anything to do with Alicia's business. I'm just asking you if that is a business concern you have, that you operate a topless cleaning service.
Sir, I cannot comment on this.
Yeah, she said she couldn't answer that question. I had to reach out to communications. I did. I asked them the questions I just said earlier. Is this a conflict of interest? Is this true that she's running such a service? Is she one of the topless cleaning maids? And it's radio silence. But I was only acquiescing to her demands. So Alicia, where do we go from here? It is, like you said, it's almost like Alicia versus everybody. But you know what? I'm going to correct you on that, because I think we have a compilation of people since our Rebel News reports aired have reached out to you as far as Australia, for goodness sakes, saying, you go, girl, don't let these bastards get you down.
Yeah, like I can't, it's been the nicest, honestly, if I can take a minute to talk to you guys specifically. The people that have reached out, you guys, I've spoke to a lot of you, but even the messages, it's been an outpouring. I can't believe there's still people like you in the world, and it really gives me hope because of what I'm surrounded with. It made me doubt it. The people are so sweet. They love Rebel News. They've reached out. I appreciate the support all the way through.
And you know what, Alicia? I truly believe that the morons calling for your beheading, those anonymous trolls, that's the minority. The people that are reaching out and saying, keep on going, that's the majority. And you know what, folks? Why don't we play a little 1-minute highlight reel of some of the adulation Alicia Hirter has been getting from the world over?
Well, I support your cause. I just wanted to come in. I wanted to know if I needed an appointment to get an audition.
I just wanted to call you with support. I was when I saw you got charged there, got the ticket and so forth. I was going to send you $20. Just wanted to say, stay strong with it, and there are people out here who obviously support you and support small business and what's going on. Not sure what we could do for you, but you have our support again. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope everything goes well for you. Thanks so much.
I hear what you've been going through and how you decided to face it with ingenuity, creativity, courage, and heart. And as a fellow Canadian, the only thing I want to say is I keep you in my heart. I keep you in my prayers. I send you love. I send you light. I think what you're doing is incredible. I think at a time where people decide to cower to the darkness, to the bad shit going on and the hypocrisy, anyone who stands up, even if it's just at the end of the day to pay your damn bills and put food on your table, then by gar, I think you're amazing. And again, I'm just sending you lots of love, lots and lots of love and good vibes. Take care and have a wonderful day.
Hey, I just wanted to call and say good job, cheering you on. I'm sorry that this has been such a nightmare for you with your 2 young kids, but I'm praying for you, and wow, what a hero. Keep up the good work, lead by example, and we're going to get through this thing with people like you moving ahead, making the right decisions. And keep us updated so that we know what's going on, okay? Anything people can do to help you. I mean, obviously booking appointments would help. So I'm trying to spread the word for you. Okay, bye.
God bless you, Alicia and Carla. It's John the Evangelist. And give you a holy blessing in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
I just wanted to congratulate you guys for your guts and for your backbone. You're doing a phenomenal job. I know how much pain you're going through and how difficult it must be. I'm going to send you the $50 for the haircut fee. Anyway, as a little support, we'll reschedule when it's possible. But in the meantime, I just meant to give you all my congratulations, warm heart, and hugs for your total guts and intelligence and your ability to stand up. You're doing a great job. I'm with you in my mind. Thank you again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye.
I am calling you from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I want to say I love you, I love you, I love you. Thank you for what you do, and I'm standing with you. Watching everything on Rebel News, it's just it's not fair, but you go, and I'm behind you. Thanks very much. Bye.
Hello. I just wanted to leave a quick message telling you that there's lots of people out there supporting you. Stay strong. I completely am over the moon out of respect for you. Think what you're doing is amazing. Don't be intimidated. Keep up the fight. Stay strong. You're awesome. I'm calling from rural BC. I've been watching what's going on. Take care. People like you are awesome. Love you guys. Take care. Bye-bye. Wish you the best.
Calling from British Columbia, Canada. I'm not looking for a hair appointment or anything, but just wanted to let you know that you've got support out here. Thousands of us are watching what's going on with you. We're not impressed with the threats, So here's a message for you on the good side. Keep up what you're doing. You're one of the tough ones. And Alicia, sorry that you have to go through all that bullshit with cowards like that. But we got you. We got your 6. We keep donating, and we'll keep fighting these fines.
I noticed your interview on The Rebel. I am not calling to harass you. I'm calling to encourage you and to say how much I admire you.
I'm hoping you're open. I've been following your situation on Rebel Media, and I'm definitely a supporter.
So there you go. That's just fantastic, Alicia. And so I guess as it stands now, we're going to keep at trying to get a comment from the police. I think the idea that they're sitting this out is absolutely outrageous, especially if, God forbid, anyone were to act on those threats. That's egg on their face. Secondly, it now comes down to your hearing and whether they're going to forgive you. I put that in air quotes because you've done nothing that needs forgiveness. They should be giving the apology to you. How does this process play out?
It's in legal hands now. I'm just taking some legal avenues to figure out how I'm going to proceed, if I'm going to open, how I'm going to open. If I can jump through those hoops, I've got a GoFundMe going that I'm addressing the legal issues with Grant LaFleche right now because there's unresolvable damage that's been done there too. It's really confusing on how to know how to.
This is a potential defamation lawsuit against the Standard then, right?
It's not potential. There's a defamation lawsuit that's been launched right now, and I have a GoFundMe to help support that. I need to get the ball rolling here. I just don't know how to right now.
And of course, we've got your back with the fines. You're a Fight the Fines candidate. So, Alicia, wow, if you had a crystal ball, would you ever believe this? If someone said this some 3 months ago, that you're going to be involved with a whole bunch of haters. You're going to have the city, the police, the region against you. You're going to be tied up in a legal quagmire. You just want to cut hair.
Yeah, David, trust me. My intentions were pure. I wasn't trying like the loophole. I know people say a loophole. My intentions were pure. I was transitioning. I thought I did everything safe and right. And the pushback against me is like I killed somebody.
Yeah.
I haven't done anything wrong. I still don't believe I've done anything wrong.
I don't think so either. And folks, if you do want to help crowdfund Alicia's legal fees for the fines, please go to fightthefines.com. That's fightthefines.com. And as we demonstrated earlier this month, I think Alicia's only sin when it comes to running a film production studio is that she's a nobody, at least in the eyes of the political elites. You see, in John Tory's Toronto, as he tries to reimagine Hogtown as Hollywood North, if you're Brad Pitt, if you're Tom Cruise, if you're the A-list talent, the rules don't apply to them. But if it's a little film production studio from one of the little people, the state will come down on that person like a papal bull. It is an absolute disgrace, but we're going to continue to follow this story. For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, are you a business owner and you are sick and tired of the authorities telling you to keep your store closed? Well, if you plan to open up illegally, I want to hear about it. Please go to iwillopen.com.